Hi guys, welcome back to Freeze Drying Mama, and we are going to reconstitute some more food for you today. The items that we're going to do is garbanzo beans, purple onions, red onions, whatever you want to call them, and raspberries. I've got a few ways that I do raspberries, but we're really just going to focus on one today. But first we're going to do onions. And so I grabbed a few of these. I've got some of them that are miscolored. That happens. It's not a big deal. It's from being frozen for too long. I had them in the freezer for I think a week because I was working on freeze drying some raw eggs. Let me tell you, that's fun. So come on over. So what we're going to do in here is I've got some bacon grease in there, and I've got my dry onions, and I'm going to put them into the bacon grease. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak up that bacon grease with those onions. Now remember, these were freeze dried raw. We just chopped them up. My husband chopped them up for me. And then we put them in the freezer. Like I said, they were in there for about a week. Not a big deal. They can stay in there as long as they need to. And then because I was doing some raw eggs, and that takes a little bit of time. Okay, so what I'm doing is I've got it on medium heat, and I'm just cooking these suckers up in some bacon grease. You can see they're actually taking the color really well, taking the bacon grease, and then they're also getting browned. And then what I'm going to do is, for this instance, I'm going to add just one egg. And it already has the great flavoring from the bacon grease, and it has the onions in there, and it will cook up really nice and easy. This would be really easy to do in a Dutch oven or in a cast iron pan. If you had to do it in a stainless steel, you could. You just want to make sure you have bacon grease on hand, because that is the best thing to reconstitute chopped onions with as you are cooking them. They will also take on, the onions will also take on some of that egg moisture. Next time I do it, I will do it with freeze-dried eggs so that you can see the freeze-dried egg powder and see what it looks like. But I really just wanted to focus on the onions and how they turn out. It actually takes on a really great taste and consistency. And what I like about onions when they're freeze-dried is as they are reconstituting, they seem to take on a stronger flavor. And that's always a good thing when it's onions. So you can see that it's just sizzling. You can hear it. Who doesn't love that? We've got some onions. They're almost like caramelized onions. And you want to make sure they're cooked good. There's nothing fancy, but if I had some cheese with this, I would just throw it on top, and there you go. But the freeze-dried onions can last a long time, and if you put them in the Mylar bags like I do, especially the resealable ones, then you can always just unfreeze them or unseal them, and then you'll be set. Alright, so there's some reconstituted onions with some scrambled eggs. Okay, now we're going to do some of the raspberries. And raspberries can be done in a whole bunch of different ways because, you know, you can put them in pancakes, you can put them in muffins, you can really do anything you want with them. One of my favorite ways to do them, in fact, you'll see this on my blog, my mother-in-law does these. I like sugar-free, I'm keto, so I like sugar-free treats. This is raspberry lemonade, and I spilled it everywhere, so I might come back later and lick it off the counter. Who knows, anything is possible, especially when I'm craving some sweets. So I like to throw that in. It takes a second for it to mix in, and then I crush up some raspberries, but I don't like to crush up a ton. I like the chunks, I like the pieces. And then you can see as it's floating in here, they're floating, and they'll slowly take on that moisture, as you can see. And they take on a really nice softness to them. It actually works out really well. Then you can see they'll start to fall, and it will actually be just like a fresh raspberry drink. What's nice is you can take these with you anywhere. They don't get damaged like raspberries do. You know, like when you have fresh raspberries and you get that like crushed, almost like jam. You know, it like turns into that mushiness. They don't have that when you freeze dry them. They get nice and hard. Most of them hold their form like this one did. My husband actually packed them in really good because he knew I wanted to get a bunch done. So if you get someone like my husband, then you can have your trays filled all the time, which mine are. Okay, so we've done the raspberries, so this one, and we'll do some more later. I really just wanted to drink this tonight, so that's why I did it. And raspberries, like I said, raspberry lemonade, this is delicious, and it's kind of fancy looking, so you could, you know, throw them in with these kinds of things into your food storage, and it's kind of a fun thing to have. Okay, then we're going to talk about, I've got garbanzo beans. These are great for hummus, if you make your own hummus. One of my favorite things about freeze drying is that it makes it powdery. So I'm going to have you come closer. And see, these are full size, you can hear them. And they take nothing to crush. And hummus usually needs to be blended really, really fine, right? Well, this actually makes your hummus even smoother when you use it. So I can do this. Crush these. I've got a, and I'm going to do this because they're going to come in. Okay, so you can see that we've got these crushed and ready to go. I'm going to add some water to them. Okay, so we're just going to add some water. Hot water usually reconstitutes faster, but it really doesn't matter. And just dump it. I like to use cold water on everything to see if it really is going to reconstitute out where I might need it to, because I might not be able to heat up the water that I've got. This is what you do, and you can make it whatever consistency you want. You can add whatever flavoring you want. I like mine spicy. I also like garlicky. One of my favorites too when I do hummus is black pepper. But again, you just keep going until it's the consistency you want. You just keep mixing it, and it mashes really easy. If you do chips or anything in your food storage that, like pitas or whatever, you can keep stuff like that, or you can make chips if you're that kind of person, then you can try making your own hummus. And this is always a great way to get extra protein, some delicious fiber, and you don't have to actually deal with normal garbanzo beans, because nobody likes these. I know I don't love them, but I'm going to actually try a bite of... Okay, that was actually really good. That was a really good texture. So if you did it with hot water, it would smooth out faster and a little bit quicker, like I said, faster. And the texture you can just kind of pick and choose. So this is how I would do this, and I would also add an avocado powder to this and make it a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit funner. How's that? Maybe even some crushed up onions. You can put some crushed up onions in here. Because remember, when they're freeze-dried, you have a powder. Now don't go daring me to put raspberries in, because I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to put some crushed onion powder in there and make some really interesting hummus that will taste really good. And see how smooth and pretty it gets without me having to pull out the blender. That, if you ask me, is a plus. Alright, so we've reconstituted these three things. If you want to see more reconstitutions, check out the Reconstitution playlist on my YouTube channel. And I hope that you check out some of the things that we're doing on the website. We answer some great questions, and I'd love to hear from any questions that you might have. I'm always taking requests. I had someone who requested guacamole to be reconstituted, so I'm definitely going to pull those out and do some of those as well. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Put it in the comments. And what's your favorite thing that you've reconstituted? Have you done anything different, anything fun? And if you don't like to reconstitute things, just remember you're putting food storage away for something. It might be someone, might be an event, might be whatever. It might just be something to take hunting or camping or dirt biking. Again, the sky's the limit with freeze drying. And I really want you to feel empowered to do the things that you are investing in. Like I said, Reconstitution is super fun, and there's lots of things you can do with it. Next time, I'll have my daughter and I make some pizza sauce, and that might be kind of fun to do. All right, she's all excited. She's my camera woman tonight. She's doing good. All right, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the little bell so you get notifications. And I look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing how your freeze drying adventures are going. Welcome to the freeze drying family.